And here's some insect repellent if anyone needs it during class. Put that there. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for returning, for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm excited, especially today, for this class because it's that last, like I was just reflecting on the summer view just now, and then in general, as we come into like the last weekend of August, it kind of feels a little surreal. You know, it's a little cooler today, and which I'm thankful for, but the seasons are changing. I was speaking with my sister, and I mentioned, like, you know, oh, like it's getting a little cool. Like last night, the weather's changing. And she's like, don't say that. Like it always makes her so panic when people mention the seasons changing. She loves the summer, and it's really interesting how like we react to change, and how can you change your reaction to change? Because sometimes you're like, you either don't want it or you do really want it. And so it was just an interesting moment where I was like, I feel like I could like think about that a little bit more and how to be with that, you know, how to be with the shift and what that brings up just by thinking about it. Like, is it excitement like me and you, or is it like fear and loathing, maybe for others? But I actually didn't want to talk a lot about anything today. I just wanted to like have a nice practice. I feel like there's a really great moment just to be really simple and pare it down, and have like quiet and space in the body. So the practice today is it's a full moon. I don't know if y'all felt the full moon energy last night. It was just, I don't know, I couldn't sleep. I kept getting up and like re-practicing yoga. It was like one end, I was like, go to sleep. My body just felt so like energized. And it was actually cute because I was laying, had to put Maia to bed, and the moon was like coming in on, and the thing is she loves the moon, so we got a chance to like just kind of moon gaze together. So it was like a very like Gaia, mother, feminine body experience with like my daughter. I was totally like in this beautiful space with her, so it was pretty cool. But with today's practice, if you are menstruating, if you're in your cycle, or if you just want to take it easy, you know, you always have, these are 100% suggested poses and sequencing. So it really is like a recipe, and I want to keep that in the vibe. Like you add the salt, you take out the spice, you do whatever you want to do to make it hotter or make it cooler for you. But we're going to start slow. So we'll take the first 15 minutes just to kind of knock the rust off. That's kind of the whole idea of this practice, is that we're just knocking the rust off the body. If we stepped away from our practice, which a lot of us have, we've all been kind of vacationing and getting back from vacation and getting married and doing things like that. So we'll just arrive together. So if you'd like to close the eyes for a few moments, keep them open. And really just allow the breath to move in and out. It's nice and breezy here, so it's nice to feel the air on the skin. And as we sit just for a couple moments more, see if you can just take like a quick snapshot, or if you were looking through a scrapbook of the past season, some of the highlights, some of the lowlights of the last few months. Really important to be able to distinguish, like, and orient yourself in space and time. Sometimes it can feel kind of like we're just moving, which is kind of nice because you want to be in the moment, but you don't want to just feel like the years and the months are passing by. So let's take a moment just to kind of like really orient ourselves on the day of the week, on the way the temperature feels, on what's behind us and what's in front of us. There are still things that you want to do this season. Make a commitment without in a hurried fashion to do it. And it might change, right? It might not be the sunniest beach day ever that you'll have, but just make a commitment to go and wear sweaters. But make sure you give yourself the things that you have wanted to feed to yourself. And take a moment more just to orient yourself. And it's almost like you're trying to retrace your steps. Like when you go on a trail, you want to be careful of where you have those forks and leave something so you can kind of find your way home. So each practice is like a little trail marker little guide as we move through our life and our practice grows and changes. And take a moment more just to set any intentions that's calling for you or any gratitude. Slowly blink the eyes open and back into the arena, the space. I want to get a little specific today as well, because there are some things in yoga that are really specific and like detail oriented, and it's nice to be able to focus on those. So the seat is like your throne. So I want to just kind of workshop how we're sitting, and you don't just want to have the legs in a random situation. So look down at the legs and let's put the right shin in front. Excuse me. And try to really have your shins be parallel. So you might have to like adjust your seat, but you want to see if you can get them parallel. And it will feel a little bit weird. And then once they're parallel, see if they can kind of knit in together so that they're intersecting kind of in the middle of the shin bone. Once you have that going, I think one of the most important parts of this is to make sure the ankles aren't like sagging down, because sometimes the kickstand by will kind of breathe in the ankles. So just flex the feet a little bit. And just feel how that changes kind of like the tripod of the seat. And then we'll just walk the fingertips forward. And sometimes if you've taken a break from practice, for me, like this is the first moments that you're like, oh yeah, that's what I haven't been doing. You can feel it right away. I mean, it's just amazing. A really simple forward bend. Just take a moment. A little tightness, maybe a little sway side to side. Go ahead and just walk the hands back. And here we're going to take the right hand off to the side and keep it in line with your hip, and take a big giant like hand walk out to the right. Now this is important. You're going to, the crease of your elbow that's probably facing toward the front of the room right now, see if you can spin it away from you. And then once it's spun away from you, start to bend the right elbow down. And it might not need to touch the ground, it might feel too bendy, but reach the left arm out to the side, and then just stop where you feel like that's enough. And then stretch. And then look up and look down. Acknowledge the land and the space around you. If you're in your home, just try to see it with new eyes. If you're outside, really acknowledge these ancient beings that are around us, the trees, the roots underneath us. Maybe reach the left arm a little bit more by your ear. Keep the energy in the feet, and then just start to come back up. No formality here, just take a moment. Then we're going to take a twist to the right, so kind of focusing on the right side here. Really simply either hooking the back of the wrist on the knee, or you can grab it with your hands. And then take that twist. So some of these poses can kind of get dull if we don't like energize them and workshop them. So remember, keep the ankles flexing. And as you spin, you want to really think about stabilizing the low back and the spine. Really, the spin is happening from the middle of the back and above, from the neck, where the ball line is. And it's really common in the twist to let the head round. It's like, and the head drop, it's really fallen. So instead, see if you can just push the back of the skull back in space. So you lift the whole front of your cage, the rib cage. And then start to turn the face forward here and let everything else just follow. And take a moment Start to bring the fingertips behind you and lean back. You can open the legs and come into a Prasarita here. Sometimes people want widest ever. Keep the hands behind you because it's early. You don't need to kind of walk the hands forward unless you feel like you have that. And just take a moment here and roll through the ankles. We're going to switch to bring the left shin in front. And again, being a little meticulous with your seat. I think if there's anything to focus on, it's always your seat because we always come to it in our practice. Okay, so just make sure the shin bones are parallel. I'm going to keep working them and then knitting them in a little bit. And then flex the feet so that the ankles are kind of lifting a little bit. Yeah, even a little more of like you're kind of a point, Bonnie, so if you can flex the foot. Yeah, like that. And then tuck. So you want to just have the heels of the foot underneath. It's weird. Like Sukhasana is weird. There's so many words for sitting, but it really makes a difference. Nice. So it's beautiful. And then walk the fingertips forward on this side. Any swaying is available. If it's available, go ahead and go for it. If it's not, let the breath pass through, just like the breeze passing through the leaves, not getting trapped, stuck, or ragged. Walk the hands back up here. Take your giant paw out to the left and keep it in line with your hip. And then again, turn the crease of your elbow away from you. Scapula steps to the back and then start to bend that left arm, reaching the right arm out to the side. Take your time. We got a few breaths here. And if you're tighter on this side, just let the elbow hover, like bring it up. Make sure your bottom wrist, don't just dump on it. So almost imagine you're holding a ball with your left hand. So your fingertips are pressing down. And again, looking up and looking down. And we'll slowly start to come back up to sit. And we're going to take that twist to the left in a moment. So again, either hooking the back of the wrist or grabbing with your hand. And then taking a really simple twist. At least 5 breaths here, but early in the class, I'm not going to be like, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. It's really letting you find your own rhythm. Ankles lifting. And again, noticing the tendency to round and kind of crank the spine like that. Instead, at the back of the head, move back. Keeping the low back stable just for one more round of breath. Nice. And then go ahead and slowly turn the head forward. Let the body follow. Bring the fingertips behind you again. Lean back. Just lift the gaze for a moment. And then let the legs just open. Don't be crazy wide. And we'll take an early Baddha Konasana. So bring the feet together. The hands can stay back behind you, or you can grab them. Here, we'll close it off. We'll make our way into a tabletop. Oh, you know what? Let's do one more thing for the shoulder while I have you here. Before we get up, let's do one more thing. So let's just come back to the legs. You can put the right shin in front of the left or left in front of the right. And again, don't let it be arbitrary. See if you can just really quickly hit those little spots. And then let's reach the arms out to the side. Exhale, bring the left elbow on top. Single wrap. If this doesn't work for your shoulders, you can always do the classic stretch, which looks like this. Okay, otherwise, single or double wrap. Start to squeeze the elbows together and lift them off the chest. So a cool little version we're going to do of this. Left arm is on top, so we're going to let the hands, like a little sundial, lean to the left. They're only going to go over a little bit, not much at all. Okay, and then let your right ear come to the right shoulder. Good. And then take a breath or so more. Let the head and the arms come back upright. Start to let the muscles in the back go short. So give it a squeeze as the elbows go to the side. Exhale, right elbow on top. Or you can take this version here. Elbows lift off the chest. Elbows squeeze together. Elbows away from the face. Forearms away from the face. And then let the forearm package go to the right ear just a little bit. It's not going to go a lot. And then the left ear go down to the shoulder. Slowly go ahead, let everything come back up to north. And then again, let those scapula, those muscles in the back go short, lift your gaze. Okay, now we'll go ahead and come to tabletop. We'll do one more thing for the shoulders and then let's move a little bit. Really taking our time in the warm up today. Yeah, we're outside, so if you need to change your orientation to that, it's good. And sunny and funny and fine, if you get too hot and sunny there, let us know. We can kind of scooch up and stuff, okay? Okay, so we're on the hands and knees here. So we're right, and the hands are over the shoulders, and the hands are underneath the shoulders, and the knees are underneath the hips. Start to take a big walk forward with the hands, and then see if you can start to just let the chest and the forehead come down. This can be kind of intense. So if that's too much, then just kind of make a pillow for the forehead and then be here. If scoliosis or just the upper spine feels a little too cranky, this is a nice variation to do. Move into the underarm space. And if the arms are extended, walk them back. Underneath the shoulders. And then we'll go ahead and come back to the tabletop. Let's inhale, look forward together. On the exhale, lift the hips up and back. First down dog. Even if pelvis kind of fixed in space, just start to pedal the feet. The ankles, getting warmed up. Yeah, we're just knocking the rust off here. So it's really nice to take at least 15 minutes just to, again, knock the rust off. So see where kind of things got a little bit atrophied or rusty just in the last week. So if you take more time away, then maybe more. And the next inhale, come forward to plank. Take a moment here just to check in with your plank, how it feels. Rounding up the upper belly or the lower belly. Then on the exhale, lower the knees down and then lower the whole torso down. Come into a low cobra. Again, it's really common to let the head drop or go back too far. Find a little sweet spot. Shoulder heads lifting away from the floor. And on the next inhale, push up. Exhale. Down. Start to take a little stroll to the top of the mat. Let the hands move if they need to. Grab opposite elbows. We're going to move to a few half sun salutations just to create some tempo now. So inhale, take a long flat back. In the long flat back, I was focusing on this last week, but think about your shoulders being at the height of the hips. So sometimes if we're really like this and we're like long flat back, my shoulders are below the height of my hips, and so I'm just going to crank my neck. right? So instead, it's probably better that I bring my hands on my shins or my thighs. And then that way the chest and the face can actually look up. Exhale, fold. We're going to do quite a few of those. So I'm just going to workshop that a little bit. Inhale, come all the way up. Sweep the arms. Exhale, the hands to your heart. Good. Again, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, long flat back. Again, shoulders in the height of the hips. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, sweep the arms. Lift the gaze. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, fold. Dial over. Inhale, long flat back and forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Little back bend here. Look up. Squeeze the glutes. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, lift everything up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, long flat back, look forward. Exhale, fold and hand. Inhale, come all the way up, slight back bend. Exhale, hands to your heart. Now we're getting some good tempo. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive over the legs. One more time on your own. And moving into Tadasana. Just for a moment. Keep moving the breath in and out as if we were still moving, so don't let it kind of soften and start to sag a bit. On your next inhale, let's reach the arms back up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, giant right step back as big as you can manage. Okay, and let's pause here for a moment. Come onto the fingertips or blocks. And really walk your left foot a little more forward. Even if you're feeling it, you know, for me, like I can feel this is another one of those areas where it's like a simple lunge can tell you a lot. Okay? To really reach back to that right heel, lifting the chest and gaze, looking forward. Stay just one more round of breath. On the next exhale, let's go ahead and step back to a downward dog. On an inhale, come forward to your plank pose. You can come right back to downward dog or take a vinyasa, your choice. I'm going to just come back to downward dog. We've got some blazing guys, ladies and gentlemen, friends. One will do a vinyasa. And once we're back in our downward dog, we're going to take that pedal back up to the top of the mat. Inhale, long, flat back, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, giant left step back as big as you can manage on the fingertips. Really, instead of being heavy on the ground, see if you can be strong on the ground. Just notice the tendency to kind of let things sag or kind of push down into the joints. See if you can really fire up the left glute. Lift the sternum. Going strong. Push down to both feet. On the next exhale, plant the palm, step back to your downward dog. Inhale forward into taking your vinyasa. There, just coming back to downward dog. Start to take that toe to the top of the mat, or you can bend the knees to the bottom of the exhale or hop or step to the top of the mat. Inhale to your long flat back once you're there. Exhale, fold and half. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms sweep. Exhale, fold, dive over the legs. Inhale, giant right step back and lower the right knee down. Inhale, lift the arms up, Anjayasana. Good. Let's stay here for a moment. I just want to workshop it as well. So sometimes we can be really far forward and very archy and bendy, right? But instead, let's bring the left foot back a little bit. And instead of kind of having the ribs be really expressed and pushing into the top of the shirt or your shirt, think about almost like keeping the ribs away from the shirt with a little restraint there. And that's just so we can get into the right hip flexor a little bit more. Lift the gaze comfortably. On the next exhale, go ahead and bring the hand down. Step back to your downward dog. Inhale forward to plank. Either lower down to chaturanga or low cobra, knees, chest, and chin. I'll do it on the back. Or you just lift right back up to your downward dog. Then at the bottom of the next exhale, hop, step, or scurry to the top of the mat. Inhale, long, flat back. Exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, giant left step back. Inhale, look up for your Anjayasana. Start to bring the right foot back. So it's a little bit more of like a right angle situation. And again, instead of kind of being really bent here, see if you can kind of tuck the ribs in a little bit. And then focus on that left hip flexor. Pressing down through both. Breathe nice. The next exhale, hands come down. Good. Step back to our downward dog. Inhale forward to your plank pose. Exhale, lower down or come right back to our downward dog. At the bottom of your next exhale, if you're not there yet, it's all good. At the bottom of the next exhale, we'll hop or step to the top of the mat. Inhale, long, flat backward forward. Exhale, forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. So now we're going to get like a little more tempo going. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, giant right step back, right knee down. Inhale, Anjayasana. Exhale, hands down, step forward. Inhale, long, flat back, look up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, giant left step back, left knee down. Inhale, Anjayasana. Exhale, hands down, this time back, downward dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower down, either knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, back down. Take a breath or breathe. Keep moving it in and out. The bottom of the next exhale, bend knees, hop or step. Inhale, long, flat back, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, moving through, arms up. Exhale, side over the legs. Inhale, giant right step back. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, Anjayasana. Exhale, forward, downward, or forward to Uttanasana. Inhale, long, flat back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to hands. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, giant left step back, Anjayasana. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, take it in up. All the way up. Inhale, lifting up to your version. Exhale, coming back down. Inhale for 1, and exhale, keep the breath moving in and out. Inhale for 2, and exhale. Inhale for 3. Exhale, bottom of the exhale, bend the knees, hop or step to the top. Inhale, long, flat back and forward. Exhale, fold and back. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. So just 2 more times like this. So keep building that tempo. Exhale, fold. Inhale, giant right step back. Lower the back knee. Inhale, lift the arm. Exhale, step forward, forward. Inhale, long flat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left step back, left knee down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down again. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Breathe right. Bottom of the next exhale, bend half a step. Inhale, long flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. One more time like that. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms. Exhale, back. Inhale, giant right step back, right knee down. Inhale, lift up on the opposite. Exhale, step forward, fold. Inhale, long flat back, look forward. Exhale. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive. Inhale, left step back. The next inhale, lift you up. Exhale, step back to your downward dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower down, your choice. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, lifting back. 3 to 5 breaths here. The bottom of the next exhale, we're actually going to lift the right leg up and back this time. And keep pressing down to the left heel as you lift the right leg up. Just really simple, classic three-legged. On the exhale, step the foot forward between the hands. And then scooch it all the way out to the right. So I'm going to put my right heel on the mat just for like traction, but the toes can be off. That's the right heel on, toes off. So give yourself like a really big clearance. Okay? So we're in a high lizard. Lower the back knee down. Keep the toes tucked today. And then just take a moment here. Again, this high lizard pose, firming up the left glute. You can walk up the hands if you have them. And then being strong to the fingertips. You can either stay here, this is option 1, right? Or option 2, which I think you did last week. You can kind of cartwheel the hand back, reaching for the outside of the foot. And then if and when you have that, giving it a kick, so you really start to twist and spin, okay? Or option 3, which is do that same thing, come onto the left elbow. I just don't do that version, but some people love it, right? You have that availability in the hip. So again, really kick into that back foot if you have that version. And then go ahead and slowly release that. Bring the hands down, step the right knee back so it doesn't turn into a scramble there to get back into downward dog. And then we will make it into downward dog. Then on the next inhale, lift the left leg up, ground down through the right heel. Pelvis is neutral, even. Shoulders are really engaged as the fingertips press down, almost like you're holding a ball. So the fingertips are engaged here. On the exhale, step through. And then wiggle it all the way to the left. Heel down, nice broad clearance, and have the whole mat to play with here. And again, maybe you stay here. And firm up the right foot. On the exhale, we'll lower the back knee down, keep the toes tucked. You can stay right here, option 1, or we can reach around to find the right foot or lasso it. If you're grabbing the foot, maybe you can go onto the pinky side. So you can kick into it. And right, or you can do option 3 on the forearm. Getting that good tension in the body. And on the next exhale, slowly release that. Find a chance to unfurl. And we're just going to step right back to downward dog and go to tabletop and then down dog. On your inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower onto your knees and then to your forearms and then onto the whole belly. So let's come into a sphinx here. We're not going to do a ton of stuff before, but I do want to have a moment, have that moment with it. And so a little different than how we normally do sphinx. Go ahead and bring the hands together so it's more like a triangle shape. Because they can be interlaced or prayer. You're just going to zip the legs up or keep them a little bit apart if the sacrum feels a little sensitive, starting to get a little chunky here. Being right here for a moment, imagine that you're pulling the chest through and squeezing the shoulders. Let the neck loosen up a little bit, the scaling muscles. Okay, on the exhale, focusing on the core, we're just going to start to lift everything up except the knees and the shin. Those stay down and the elbows stay down. Everything else domes away. And it's good to look between the knees here. So you really engage the whole underbelly of the body here. So we got a few more breaths here, then 3 or 4. You're protracting the shoulders, scapulas on the way. And tummy is firming up and then relaxing, let the head hang with the pendulum there. If you don't like this, you can do an elbow plank or forearm plank. On the next inhale, slowly lower down. Take your time here, it's fine. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lifting back to your downward dog. We've done kind of a nice tour of the body. So in your downward dog, just see if you can see how everything feels from the core to the hamstrings, to the legs, the arms, the shoulders, the neck. On the next inhale, go ahead and lift the right leg up again. This time, open the hips. You can stack them. If you're really flexible in your low back, women folks tend to have a lot of flexibility in the lumbar spine. Right? Our body does different things in life, so we need that flexibility. But just use a little bit of restraint. So make sure your hips aren't doing your shoulders job. Just keep pressing down with the fingers, running through the shoulders and up the body. Next, inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, step it through. Bend the back heel down. Heel to the alignment a little bit wider. And on the inhale, we're going to come up to our warrior one. Yeah, I think it's a moment which I'm ready to breathe. I'm like, sometimes the roots kind of like lift the arch, which is nice. You're like, oh, okay, I'm more stable. Okay, so just take a moment here. On the exhale, bring the arms down by your side. We did this last week, but I want to come back to it. So think about the elbows bending and squeezing. So sometimes we kind of do this, and then we grab the hands, and then we kind of break through the shoulders to open. So let's see if we can keep it open the whole time, and then find the fingers. And if you can't find the fingers, it's okay. Good. Keeping that length and opening in the front of the chest, and then bring the hands back to your chest. Let's stick forward for a brief warrior 3. I do want to add some balance. We don't have a ton of time, but this is a good one for the legs. Move forward here in the warrior 3. Pelvis is level. You can stay right here for another breath or 2, or reach the hands forward and maybe look toward them. Exhale, bend the standing leg. Come back to your warrior 1. Lift the gaze, lift the hands. Exhale, let's open nice and wide here to our warrior 2. Checking your alignment. Again, that same dimmer switch, the legs and the hands and the arms are all the same level of intensity and softness. Now from here, we're gonna do something a little different today. We're gonna bend the left arm and bring it behind you. But I want to show this. So sometimes some of us are really flexible and we can like reach and grab that top thigh like that. But that's not everyone can. So you need to hold on to something. You can grab the inside of your waistband, which is a nice little one that I just played with last night. You really want to hold on to something, whether it's your own body or your clothes. And from here, we're just going to start to straighten that front leg and start to reach the right hand forward. Keep holding onto your waistband or your upper right hip, coming into a triangle pose. This way the shoulders have to really focus on stacking and the hands can't let us have some sort of warped sense of what's happening in the shoulders. Really opening the chest. Breathing. And then if you want to free up the back arm, you can let it lift straight up here. Take a breath or two more. Start to bend the right knee. Come back to your warrior two. Inhale, lean back to peaceful. Just exhale, extended side angle. We'll just take two more of these. Move with your breath off. Get some quietness here. Next time you're on the right side, just go ahead and look down. Bring the left hand down, send the left heel up. You can step back to a side plank. This is like the one that we'll do on this side. You can be supported, or very slippery, but supported. So classic. Or maybe you can kind of jazz it up a little bit. And then go ahead and come back to your classic plank. Take a vinyasa, or just meet us in downward dog. Here, your downward dog, taking a deep breath. On your next inhale, lift the left leg up this time. Nice classic three-legged dog for a moment. And on the exhale, opening out to the side. Stacking the hips. And shoulders are working. We'll start to level the hips out again here. And step the left foot forward. Bend the right heel down, preparing for warrior one. And making your way up. And then exhale, bring the hands down by your side. If the elbows are squeezed, lift the gaze up. So now we're kind of letting the ribs be a little more expressive. I'm not having to lift them in so much this time. But you grab the hands or not, grab a strap, and just squeeze. Then we'll bring the hands together in front of the heart. Start to tip forward for your warrior three. The back foot can stay down the whole time. Honestly, balance is a little tricky today. Potential little counterbalance. Otherwise, start to reach the hands forward, gazing beyond. Slowly bend the standing leg, come back with control to warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Turn this way. I'm going to offer this on this side. If you can do it, it's okay to not do everything on every side. Come into warrior two. Let's address the tightness in the neck. So you're going to go ahead and stack your left elbow on top. And take that eagle wrap again. Or take the new version that you like. Good, everyone. Okay. Elbows are lifting up. Elbows are squeezing together. Forearms are pushing away from the face. And this is the same thing we did at the very beginning of class. So let the arms move, go to the left just a few inches. And let the right ear go to the right shoulder. Legs are still working evenly front and back. Inhale, come back north. Let the arms unfurl, squeeze, lift the gaze. Exhale, let the right elbow go on top. Elbows lift up, forearms away from the face, elbows squeeze together. Arms fall to the right, ear falls to the left. Everything comes back north here, reach the arms back to your warrior two. Start to let the right hand grab behind you, and again, grab it inside of your waistband, or you can sneak around if you have that. Start to straighten the left leg. Reach the left hand forward. Left hand finds your shin or a block or a stool, something at the height that works for you if you have it at home. Good. And again, just stack the shoulders. Release that left toe mound. See if you can get her down there. Make sure she's not popping up too much to really feel the earth beneath your feet. That last breath will reach the right arm up to the sky. And start to bend the left leg here. Come back to your warrior two, into your peaceful. Take 3 of these as you move through 6 minutes at angle. So if you had great control over the breath, which a lot of you do because you've been practicing for a while, let it kind of just go loose here. So release the grip on the breath. And the next time the elbow's down here, go ahead and bring the right hand down. Spin the right heel up, take a side plank or variation. In that side plank, make sure the ankle isn't sagging. Exhale back to the classic plank. Last vinyasa of the class. Inhale. Exhale. Coming back to your child's pose or down. From here, let the hips just fall off to one side and come to sit on the rear end here. I want to have this nice like shavasana time and like twists. I think that'd be pretty nice. Fit together and vibes. Okay, so coming down, let's bring the feet kind of right underneath. I guess take a look at them now because you won't be able to see them when you're on your back. So to see your, I'm always like, do this with your feet, like they can't even see. But like, just look at the natural desire for the feet, maybe to pigeon toe or to like fall in or to roll out. So you just want to look at that now. We're going to do that when we go into our supported bridge. Okay, and then we'll just start to roll down here onto the back. We're going to stay down for the rest of the class, but we'll work together. So from here, excuse me, walk the feet back even more. Okay. And bend your elbows and make a little fist, or the hands can be out. I'm kind of like the fist thing is just something to do with the hands. It could be nice, or if the hands want to be straight. You're going to start to dig your triceps and your elbows into the earth and start to lift the hips up. If you're on like day 1 or 2 of your period, you don't have to lift the hips up, right? The flow might be kind of heavy. So in which case you kind of just rock here, maybe bring the knees and press into each other. I'm going to do that version. If the hips are lifting up in that supported bridge, really again, dig down through the elbows and the back of the arm. The chin is slightly like lifted, so you have a good curve in the neck. Keep pressing down through your feet. And on the exhale, just lower everything down. Good. Let the hands rest on the body. Take a break. Let yourself take a rest here. And one more like that. So start to again bend the elbows, walk them into your body, press down through both feet, and start to lift up, especially that big toe mound. The big toe mound is going to want to float up or overdo it. So just kind of distribute the strength. Keep pressing down from back to the arms. Beautiful curve in the spine and behind the neck. Stay with it for 2 more breaths. On the next exhale, lower that pelvis down. Good. Just go ahead. And this time, give yourself like a hug here. So you're just letting whatever elbows on top, just let the arms kind of flop over the bust. And the knees can knock in toward each other. Really simply let the arms come out to the side and lift the hips up and just take a little jog to the right. So let the hips slant to the right. And then the knees just fall to the left. I like to have the knees be stacked. I just think it's a nice way to make sure you're aligned. Look to the right. We're going to stay here for at least 5 or 8 more breaths, so just enjoy. Last 3 breaths. It could feel nice to take your right fist and kind of rest it on the forehead and let the right temple go toward the earth. So just adding a little more of a cervical twist here. So nice. And then go ahead and slowly come out. Take a jog over to the other side. So lift the hips and bring it to the left. And let the knees and thighs fall to the right. And release the solid minute here. Final couple of breaths here. Maybe take the left back of the hand and let it rest on the forehead as the face turns. Just using the weight of your body to go a little further in the twist. And we'll come back to knees up here and we'll take a happy baby pose. Or just knees into your chest if happy baby feels like a lot. You can either stay here, do anything else. Again, everything is 100% suggested. So if you want to do anything else, shoulder stands, legs up the wall, or plow pose, whatever you like for the next couple minutes. Otherwise, you can make your way into a Shavasana pose, restful space. Begin to rock the head right and left. Be here for another 8 breaths or so, but just start to massage the back of the head. Have so many muscle fibers that attach to that ridge. And you actually have the ridge in the back of the head so that muscles can attach to it. Kind of how the skeleton works. So you're just massaging all those attachment points. If you're at home, you can just stay here. You can stay here if you want to. Otherwise, you start to just bring the knees into your chest and roll to one side. Time to separate meditation together. And without having to look at everything, see if you can kind of come back to that very meticulously designed seat, your throne. So feeling that the shins are parallel, so the mat and parallel to one another. And then into the center line, the heels are like little kickstands, and then flex the feet. Allow the lips to be slightly parted and the eyelids to be like a little opening there. On the next inhale, let's lift the arms up and the gaze up. Exhale, hold the prayer to the heart. Just 2 more times like that. Finding something in nature or in your home to orient yourself. What's the temperature like? Time of the year is it? One more time. Once you feel oriented in space and time, take a moment to set an intention. Find your way back to here. Thank you so much for your practice and the beautiful rest of the season, life, and afterlife. Beautiful yoga practice forever. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much to see you all in person. Really. Thank you all, everyone at home. Welcome back. Yeah, thank you. This is sign language applause. So you know this works like, yeah. I was trying to learn ASL, so anyone who knows how to teach that, let me know. I'm going to stop the recording here.